don't take care of the heel of your foot, and if you're all they're beat up, and you don't have to have polished nails, but at least clip them. You can't have like.
God!
Take care of your feet, people.
Oh God!
Men too. Men don't let me. Thank
trotters.
You.
We call them trotters over here.
Try.
I'm sorry. I just had to share that with you because I was just.
but see, those are deal breakers before you get into even the relationship. But to me, if you're doing chores, there's a way. To me, as you're in a relationship, you'll see if you want to be in a more advanced relationship by the way the person takes care of their university room or their apartment or their flat, or you can tell if she has dishes in the sink every time or he has dishes in his sink every time you go to his place. No, but
if they're piling up, if everything's overflowing and piling up, don't get me wrong. Obviously, sometimes some people, I personally don't like to do that, but some people, they'll leave it and then they'll do everything at the end of the day or whatever. Everyone has their little.
But
their
every
little
time you come over.
No, but I'm talking about piling up to the point where it looks like they never do no dishes unless they're absolutely forced to. Them type of habits, it's not. You may look at someone and think, listen, I don't want to be around you because it's going to be that's going to stress me out. I don't want to look at things and think, oh, that needs tidying, oh, that needs doing. Household things just to make your house run smoothly and look clean and tidy. If I'm looking at somebody like that, because trust me, women. We do that, innit? Come on, girls. I know you're out there. You can tell me at Ask Avani Show because we know. Okay, Rose, I have to say, link 40 years of feminism, but women still do most of the work, the housework. So, hello. This is even in this day and age, as we are in the 21st century. I got that right, innit?
Yes, you do.
I'm just making sure because some of the things I've seen and heard, it's like a throwback and then some. I'm just like, really? That's why I wanted to do the poll that I did. And it was interesting to me that some people still said, I mean, it wasn't a lot, but it was interesting that some people still said that they expected women to do all of the housework. So I was like, wow. So it just goes to show you that there are some old-fashioned people out there when it comes to that type of thing.
But that's as we're taught to do things, we are taught by those people that are, of course, older than we have been. And in my case, my mother, when she was teaching me these things, she was in her 30s and 40s. At the time, I was just being brought up and being taught to do chores and those type things. And so from her standpoint of who was supposed to do what, it came from traditional, which started, I guess, at the beginning of time. The men went out and hunted and brought back the food, and then the women who were not as strong as the men, they basically cooked the food and prepared the cave. I don't know. So,
well, yeah, but see, I understand. The problem I think a lot of us will have, especially if we are, evolved, as it were, is that, okay, in certain times, way back when, wherever it was, if that was how you were happy to have things done, that's fine. But I don't think that people should expect, and it's like I keep putting emphasis on expect someone else to do everything. If you've had the chat and the person is happy to do that, like you said, right, if she says, or whoever says, I'm going to do all of this, but I just want you to do that because that's one of the things I really can't stand, and the other person's happy to do that, that's fine. I'm not saying that people should do everything 50-50 if they don't want to, but what I'm saying is you need to have this conversation. It should not just be expected that one person is going to do all or most of everything, because they might start, listen, when you start harboring resentment, I know we're not doing the relationship show, but I noticed that these things can be interlinked. Okay,
yes,
so
they are. Yes, they are.
Because if you start getting resentful about something, right, because you think that someone is expecting you to do something and assuming that is your place to do something because you are, no, it's going to be a problem. Because today's woman, let's just say, is very independent and she's not just always going to be sitting at home. A lot of women go out to work now. I know there's some people out there that really don't get to see that, or they just don't understand it. But hello, it's not because and some women don't want to go out to work, but they have to. They've got no choice.
Right, exactly.
It's not like well, I really, really would prefer to stay home. Sometimes that isn't possible because the money these days, some of these jobs, they're just ridiculous. You're like, listen, if we're gonna live and keep food on the table and keep a roof over our head, we're both going to have to work, because if the guy is rich, or the woman, whichever way you want to put it, whoever is the one that earns the more money, they may decide that it's more beneficial for their partner to stay home, and if they can live on the one wage, then it's fine, isn't it?
Right.
If they're happy to do that. But in this day and age, that is not always the case. It's more often than not that both parties have to go out to work because it's just so expensive to live, you know. So you got, in my mind, I personally think it should be 50-50, because I don't listen. Okay, Rose, I'm just going to say this, and I know there's a lot of women out there who will agree with this. If a man, for example, can cook, we like that. It ain't just men who that way to their heart is through their stomach, you know. Hello, I like my grub.
Well, but have you found someone who basically cooks better than you do?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did, yeah.
And so what was that deal breaker then?
Well, no. With that person, it wasn't a deal breaker, because, or should I say, they could do most of the things that, they didn't expect me to hoover or expect me to cook. It wasn't like, oh God, he can't do nothing, and if I want to live in this house, I'm going to have to do it all, otherwise we're all going to go hungry. It wasn't like that. He could do all that. He didn't need me. He said to me, my mum taught me, she taught all of us, because she had like about 4 kids or something like that, and she taught all of them, boys and girls, they all had to do it. So he said, I've never worried about that. He goes, if I meet a girl and she can't cook, I'm shocked.
Well, but there are a lot of them. There are a lot of people now that don't learn that.
Yeah, but no, okay, yeah, some that don't learn, but I ain't being funny. There's not learning because obviously circumstances, or you didn't have someone to show you, and then there's just being downright lazy because you don't even want to try to attempt to do something like, you know, teach yourself. I had to teach myself. I didn't have anyone to show me, which is fine. But it just goes to show you, there's some people, like I said, a particular person I could name, but I won't. They expect it. It's like, okay, call me when dinner's ready. No, I ain't cooking for you. They expect you to do it. They expect you to cook for them and do all these things, Keros, and I'm not loving that. Don't expect me to do it because you might be waiting a long time.
Well, but it goes to the way that you basically started talking about how the relationship is supposed to be and whose role or who has what role, blah, 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 blah. And so if you are working with someone and you both know that you're both doing a lot, then you should be sharing what's going on. But
you would think so, innit?
Well, that's just the whole thing. And if you're not, if you don't both think the same way, you have a problem.
Well, this is what I mean about having a conversation. You see, now one of my favorite topics I have to mention: communication. Okay, people, you know what to do. Okay, let me know what you think about this at Ask Avani Show, because really and truly, like we said, we've gone through it. Feminism. It seems that women are still doing most of the housework. I mean, okay, the throwback men who fail to do the housework are not seeing the need to do the housework. Now, I want to know, guys out there, do you think that a woman should, again, it's part of the poll, should do all the housework? Don't worry, as I said, I'm not going to put you on blast if you would still prefer your partner to do all of the housework. Like I said, if you've had this conversation and that person is happy because they don't want you in their stuff, then fine. But don't expect to come home and have your dinner cooked. Don't expect to come home to a clean, freshly hoovered, laundry done, dishes done house all the time, every day. Don't expect that if you have not had the conversation. That's what I'm going to say. Because you may come home to find that either the place is a tip and she did that deliberately to make you know that you're going to have to help out, or you may just come home to an empty house because she's gone about her business.
What does the place is a tip mean? I don't know. What
it's a mess.
Okay.
It's a mess. When we say a tip, because over here, when people take things to the tip, it's like the rubbish dump.
Okay, can you spell that for those of us who think you're saying something else?
Tip. T-I-P for Peter.
Okay,
tip.
Thank you.
I know what you thought I was saying, but English people, the place is a tip.
Okay, I'll have to start using that. Okay.
Yes, it's another euphemism for rubbish dump.
Right. But I thought the other spell, it was like, man, it's like some of the translations of words between our version and your version. You know, we don't say things the same way.
Like something, if we, you have the skip, I don't know, do you have a skip? We use like a, it's in the building trade, they use them over here. Great big massive like metal container, and like they'll be chucking things out of a house into a skip.
Okay, those are just, and then you have a big truck that comes and empties that.
Yeah, exactly. And takes it away.
That's just garbage can to us. But,
okay.
We're not special. Let me put it that way.
Okay, yeah, we have names for but it all ends up usually at the rubbish dump, i.e. the tip. That's where stuff goes.
No, and I understand it. So, but if a person basically, is that like a rebellious thing? You aren't helping me clean up, so I'm going to just leave this place.
Might just come out and say, listen, I'm leaving it. All the kids' toys, I'm leaving it. Let Daddy drop over when he comes in. She might just be like, yeah, I'm not doing nothing. No, you're expecting too much. Because most people, I've heard some people say, like, oh, my partner thinks I don't do nothing because I'm at home all day. And it's like they just assume that I'm just sitting there watching telly, watching Jeremy Kyle or something
but don't you think this, but that is to me... that's to me that traditional roles thought process, and the person who is the breadwinner, and like we now know, the breadwinner now can be a male or female. It can be the husband or the wife, but the person it still should be 50-50. That's the whole thing.
Well, as I just said, I think because Link 5 is saying, men, you can't sweep this one under the carpet. So guys out there, any guy out there who thinks he's going to get away with this behaviour going forward, he may need to rethink that little strategy, because I think their partner might have something to say. If they haven't spoken up before now, maybe this show will be one of the things that will make them think, do you know what? Me and such need to have a word. Or a few words.
Yeah, a few words.
And he's going to be doing all the listening, and I'm going to be doing all the talking, and yes. Because, like I said earlier, more and more women are in the workforce, Link 6. So, this is the question I want to know. Why does it seem that they are still doing so many chores, so many of the chores? Like, it's like, okay, because a work, when you go to work, that's a job in itself. Why would a woman or whoever want to come home again to another job? Because that is a full-time job,
Oh, yes, it
cleaning, doing all that. That's unpaid, but it's still work, because someone else, if you could afford a helper to come in, that would be a full-time job.
Well, so it's just, to me, if you're sharing the duty, now it could be that you both are working so much also that you really don't have time to be as thorough as you would want to be.
Well, yeah, but come on, because Luke 7 says it. Listen, and I know there's men out there, you are guilty of this. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to put you on blast for it. Even when they don't have jobs, men, this is apparently a statistical fact, okay, do less housework than women. Hello? I'm sorry, but listen, I've seen some people, these slobber lobs as we have over here, right? Slob on the couch, right? And he's just like sitting there watching telly all day or watching football, and you can't get nothing out of him. He's sitting there with his can of beer or whatever he's and you cannot get nothing out of him. You've got to stand in front of him and he still won't get no he just won't get no reaction. It's like he's just not with it. And you just think, oh my God, you've been in all day and you just sat there for how many hours watching TV? You couldn't think to do a bit of hoovering or, do all that and then go back and watch TV. We ain't saying you can't sit down and watch TV or play computer games or whatever, but at least do something.
Well, that's just a lazy person, okay? Yeah. And that's on either side. If you have a whoever in the relationship is out and they're working and then they come back and this person hadn't done anything on either side, and you've got a couple of children and either one of you are taking care of those children during the day, and everything is still messy and the toys are everywhere and the kids' clothes are everywhere, regardless of who's coming in from work, it's going to give you an attitude.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, obviously no one is perfect. Obviously no one is a super person. I won't even say man or woman, super person, because it depends on who it is. And obviously if you've got kids, oh my God, they're like little, fireworks within themselves. You pick something up here and you turn around and it's messy over there again, so not saying that it has to be absolutely spotless clean and that Stepford Wives type thing, no. But you're just trying to say that you're trying to keep a semblance of